Welcome back to our second segment of this morning's program. With me is Miss Linda Felix-Johnson, and she is the president of WOMI Mission International. A pleasant good morning to you and welcome to Good Morning SBG.
Good morning.
Okay, all right. So let us begin our interview. Ms. Johnson, could you tell us about the inception of your organization and what are the objectives?
Okay, the Women of Mission International was formed through, I would say, happenstance.
Yeah.
Because I was the general secretary of another organization called the Linden Fund, and with that organization I was frequenting Guyana, specifically Linden Town, where we are from. Yeah. And we do medical missions, we do education missions, and we also had scholarship programs and different things to help the people of Linden. Mm-hmm. And on one of those visits, we had a fundraiser, and I found a lot of those little kids coming to this party at 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning, and I asked them, "Where's your mother?" "Oh, she's at work." And well, we kept sending them back home because, of course, it's a grown folks party, and kids were not allowed. They was drinking and all the things that grown folks do. The next morning, I met a few women at the hospital, and they were all security guards. Mm-hmm. And I was telling them about what happened the night before, and they were telling me that most of the time, women could only find security jobs at night, mostly, because whenever their husbands leave or their boyfriends or whatever, that's the quickest job that they could get because they're not skilled. So I had this idea that we should have a forum, a women's forum, where women alone would be invited and they would feel comfortable in discussing the issues that are actually impeding their progress. And I could tell you, I didn't know where it was going to go, but about 90 women showed up at the venue that evening, and we had a very spirited conversation. After that, we came back to the US, and I thought about it some more, called up a few of my friends, and told them of this idea. Well, during the forum, a lot of the women were saying, "Oh my God, Linda, you're a woman on a mission." And that stuck with me. But in thinking of naming the organization, I decided that women are experiencing the same problems all over the world. But my goal was, they said charity begins at home. So I decided that we would begin our program in Linden, and that way it would create a footprint. That led to me naming the organization the Women of Mission International, where we will begin in Linden, but slowly but surely we will progress and include women from all over.
Okay. So I love that little journey that you spoke about. What are the objectives in terms of, I wouldn't use the word objective, but your mission? Are you going to empower women, or what? Tell us about.
Okay, what our mission is to empower women through education.
Right.
And not only education meaning scholastically, mm-hmm. but education through domestic violence counseling, through our conferences, through giving them the information they need to further themselves, to move them from the situation they are to a better situation, because we all know that when we have strong women, we have strong children, and therefore we have strong communities, mm-hmm. and a better nation. And that's the reason we plan to empower women, mm-hmm. through the different initiatives. Mm-hmm. We have an initiative called the Give Back Program. There was this woman who was trying in Linden to open her own small business. Mm-hmm. We gave her some money, never expected it back,
Right.
She opened her business, it was flourishing, and the next year we went back. She gave us back the money we gave to
Wow.
her and told us there might be somebody else
Yes.
who might need it.
Wow.
And I found that so interesting because she was thinking, in her thinking, we helped her to start her own business, and she was going to pay it forward to somebody else who might have been in her position and giving it back to that individual. And that caused us to have this program now. Next year, this year as a matter of fact, when we go down in July,
Yes.
we will be finding one woman who has a business plan, and we will also be giving that woman the monies.
Okay. Tell us how many programs, or let us say in general, some of the programs that you guys engage in your organization.
Okay, currently we have 3 programs that we're involved in. And as you know, with nonprofit organizations and these small groups, we work on a shoestring budget. It's very difficult raising funds because we raise funds through our membership drive, through fundraisers here in the US, and thankfully we have a group of women in Guyana, in Linden. They formed a chapter of the Women of Mission. We have those women working there with the projects that we initiated. Currently, we have a nutritional program that we're about to launch in a primary school in Wisma. We were supposed to launch that program 2 years ago, but because of the rioting in Linden a few years ago, that school was burnt down. It has since been rebuilt, and this year we're going to launch our nutritional program. We have a seniors program where we will be launching that as well, because I think that seniors issues are very important to me. And I guess I got that way because I am the caregiver of my mom, and I see a lot of old people just being left by the wayside. They have nobody to visit them, they have nobody to care for them, they have nobody coming in and just taking care of their basic needs. So what we plan on doing this year is to start a Seniors Day program, because we know we have a lot of those things here in the US, but there are not a lot of those down there. There is a seniors home called the Dorfork Home, but whenever we visit, there's not a lot going on. And there are lots of seniors shut-ins. When we say shut-ins, we mean the seniors who can't get out of the house. So through, with the collaboration of our members in Linden, we plan to initiate this program along with another organization there called the Linden Care Foundation. And we're going to have nurses go visit these seniors. People go clean the houses. We're trying to have buses collaborate with us and take them on trips, take them out of their homes, because quality of life, I think, is important while you're alive. In addition, we have a Sponsor a Child program where sponsors from the US and other places could sponsor a child, and that will take care of the whole child, because it's my belief as an educator that if a child is hungry, if a child is not clothed well, they can't focus. So then their education suffers. We are asking people to come on board with the program. The program is not specific to Linden, it's for all Guyanese. So it doesn't matter where you come from. If you want to donate towards that program, you could definitely sponsor a child, and we will be accountable for the monies that you give us. You will have a picture of that child, and we will give you updates of the child's progress, both socially and education-wise.
Okay. Now, Ms. Linda, you spoke about women. Is it Women on a Mission?
Women of Mission International.
Women, yes. Tell us, during your mission, What are some of the experiences that you had, or some of the stories that you can share with us on this program about something that disturbed you or unique to what is happening now?
Okay, as an educator, I look for certain things whenever I visit anywhere, and my focus is on educating the next generation, and that is one of the reasons why we initiated those programs to help the children. I find there is not enough training for teachers. And that's the reason we are going to be initiating our teachers workshop to turnkey the information we get here. And I'm not saying that we know it all here, but we want to give the information we have here that's helping us to help our students. We want to give that information to the teachers and the education system in the Caribbean, and that might go a long way to helping our students. And I'll give you one example. We started the teachers workshop in Linden, and the teachers were kind of very in objection to one of our programs called lesson planning.
Wow.
And we know here lesson planning is very important. What the teachers were saying is that they have to teach across the curriculum, so it didn't make sense planning because they don't know what's going to go on for the day. But after about 2 years of doing that workshop and teaching them how to plan and doing the various workshops with them, some of the teachers, 2 teachers actually wrote me and said they were in objection to our workshop at first, but it really helped them because we showed them the importance of lesson planning. It creates a blueprint.
Right.
And even though you have to divert a little bit from that lesson plan, at least you have that framework that will help you to help those students. Another thing I'm thinking that there is this talk now in the Caribbean and in Guyana about special education. And I don't think it's set up properly or they're properly trained for special education. I visited a school in Linden, and they just had the kids there in a room, and the kids were not doing anything. They don't understand how to teach them. We started the special ed program where we are going to be helping those teachers to teach those students. Because every child learns differently. And in my opinion, every child should have an individualized education plan, because a long time ago, if a child was not performing properly, we would say they're dunce. But now we know that kids have different challenges, and if you identify those challenges, you will be able to assist them better. So I think that our education system needs to be reorganized in order to help the 21st century students.
Oh, right. Very good. How much members do you have in this organization?
We have 12 active members. We have lots of supporters that support our causes, but we have 12 active members. And I always say, yes, I founded the Women of Mission International, but I couldn't do it without the ladies that work with me.
Okay. Now, I know you had an event recently that involved the First Lady of Guyana and also the Prime Minister's wife. Tell us about this activity, because I heard it was a wonderful activity.
Yes, it was. I first would like to say thank you to the First Lady, Mrs. Granger, and the Prime Minister's wife, Mrs. Nagamoto, for gracing us with their presence. Because what that did for our organization and for our cause was shine a spotlight on the issues that are affecting and impeding women's progress. I would also like to thank Caribbean Airlines for facilitating that trip, and everyone else who supported us through that entire 3-day weekend, because we had a very successful gala, honors gala. We had a women's conference that was well attended, and we also had a millennials conference called Bridging the Gap. During that conference, what we did was encourage young people to young Guyanese, because there is sort of a disconnect where Guyanese parents, we have our children here and they're not connected to Guyana. So what that conference did was bring young people, millennials we call them, and encourage them to visit Guyana, to see the issues and the situations that millennials like themselves are experiencing, and try to work together in order to create some kind of a cushion or to assist them. And that's the reason we called our conference Bridging the Gap. During our gala, we honored 10 women, because I find a lot of times in our community there are people, women, who really put in the work, but they are not ever acknowledged.
Yes.
And we need to do more of that to encourage more people to, and you're not, I don't think we ever do this to be acknowledged, but whenever you are acknowledged, it gives you that extra push to want to do more. And being acknowledged will tell somebody else who might not have wanted to do it, well, oh my God, I didn't think that that was so rewarding. I think anything that you're doing, you should do it because you love to do it. And that's the reason our weekend of activities from April 8th to the 10th was, the name was Knowing Your Purpose, because we feel that knowing your purpose will definitely lead you in the right direction. It gives you satisfaction, because you're not doing it for money, you're doing it for what it does to you. And the women who were honored for their humanitarian services. We had 10 women on Friday evening that was honored, and we had 10 women who were honored on Saturday at our women's conference. At the conference, we discussed issues such as domestic violence. We discussed the neurological issues facing children, and that stops them, or that creates the barriers for the behaviors that they exhibit. We also had a speaker who talked about different women's issues and why women should help women and not pull women down.
Yes.
So that is the reason we are trying to, through our conferences and forums, to teach women how to take responsibility for their lives, so that just in case things might change in your household, you will be able to go out there and find a career and find your purpose and move on.
Okay. You've done your women conference. You told us about your mission and what is unique in the community and how you was able to address it. Now we're speaking about what is next as it relates to your organization and what's not. What are you planning, and how do you see your organization offering solutions to some of the problems with what some of women face here in New York?
That is a very good question. Myself and the other members of the organization, we have been talking about our projects for this year. And as I said earlier, we would like to do a whole lot of things. But because we work on a shoestring budget, we have to find what is the most important. And we think education is the most important. Therefore, we plan a women's conference, a national women's conference in Guyana this coming July, because every year Women of Mission International collaborates with OMAT, that's a medical group, and we go down to Linden. We do all of the work at the Linden Hospital. The doctors do surgeries, the various types of surgeries, all free service, and then we do a health fair. We do motivational speaking, and this year we have our conference plan. We will be launching our Sponsor a Child program. We will be launching our seniors program as well, and doing our annual women's conference. And while the First Lady and Mrs. Nagamoto was here, Mrs. Nagamoto mentioned about visiting a school where she went into the home economics center, and they didn't even have, in a home ec center you are supposed to have a proper fridge, proper stove, a sewing machine, and those basic things that is our components of housewifery.
Yes.
And they had no sewing machines. So we plan on donating, I know it's small, but you have to start somewhere. We plan on donating sewing machines, at least 3, to that school, and that will assist them in moving ahead with the sewing program that they have. Mrs. Granger spoke about helping the students in the interior with bicycles, and we are going to be donating a few bicycles to that program as well. And as often as we can, we always look to see where we could help, because I think if you help one person, you would have reached your objective. And in the Women of Mission, that's what we plan to do, to help anyone who we can help with whatever resources we have.
I would really like to commend you on this, forming this organization, and I know that you have some other missions or other projects planned. But just recently I was told that you invited to India. Could you tell us about that invitation and what's not? This is big.
One of the panelists for a conference, that conference was initiated by the Miss Universe, Miss Plus Size Universe, yes, I'm sorry. And on the panel was the Miss Kaur, I think her name is, from the We for We India. And what she said is that she was impressed with what I said about women's issues and addressing those issues. And she asked me to join their conference in India, which will be held on from the 16th through the 24th of May. And I actually accepted the invitation because I know that helping women and helping children, boys and girls, that is my purpose. And wherever I'm called to do it, I am prepared to do it.
Okay. So tell us, if someone wants to contribute or would like to join your organization, what is the process?
Okay, we are an international organization. We are not specific to Guyana. Women from all over are welcome to join us. Our website is www.womenofmission.com. Our annual membership, and for every organization we need to have an annual membership to be able to start with something. Our annual membership is only $50. You could get a membership application online. You could reach us by calling 347-362-1362. And becoming a member is easy. You could become a member with a $50 membership. You could become a supporter by donating whatever, because I always say every dollar counts. And for every dollar we get, a child could be helped. A woman could be helped. A woman coming out of a domestic violence situation and need that assistance, your monies go directly to our programs.
I think your message was well received, not only in this program, but I could imagine that the viewers are listening to your various projects, your organizations, things that you have done in the past, and your invitation to India. We would like to use this opportunity to say to you, it has been a pleasure, speaking to you about all of this, and to wish you all the best in your endeavor, not only you but your organization in your endeavors, and to wish you all the best in India this coming May, and we look forward to seeing a result from that conference, or some experience you may have acquired in India to share with the women in the Caribbean. And I'd like to say all the best to you, and it has been a pleasure chatting with you on this morning's program.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine.
Thank you. Well, this is Pearl Williams saying good morning. See you tomorrow for another exciting episode of Good Morning SVG. Bye now.